Assembling the Workcentre is best done on a table or workbench, but if you're working off the floor, then use the cardboard outer as a mat to prevent paint damage. Lay out all the contents so that you can easily identify each part or parts. A tube spanner is included in the box. You will also need a small crosshead screwdriver, a 10mm spanner, a 13mm spanner, or an adjustable wrench. Place the end panel on the edge of the workbench and fit the leg. Holding in the spring pin, you can now fit the leg to the leg bracket. Now take the longer M8 bolt with the washer under the head, push the bolt through the hole, attach a washer and nylock nut on the other side and tighten. Make sure that each leg splays outwards. Check that you can put the leg into the park position by pushing in the lock pin. Once you have fitted the 4 legs, you can now fit the base channels. Fit each base channel with the open side facing in. Place the bolt into the hole and tighten. Repeat this at the other 3 corners. Now turn your table the right way up. Take a bearing channel and fit a flange nut at each end. Push each nut in until it reaches the stop. Make sure that the cutouts are facing up. Hold your fingers over the ends and angle them into position. Lift up and they will snap home. Hold the channel in this position and attach the shorter M8 bolt with its washer. Tighten quite firmly and repeat this process on the other side. Now push the plastic feet into the ends of the leg, making sure they are in the right orientation. Take the slide chassis and place it onto the bearings channels. The red plastic component should be at the same side as the switchbox. You can use lubricant in the side channels to ease the use of the slide chassis. To fit the Triton saw, you must first fit the centric cams. Be sure to keep the indicator marks pointing towards the front and rear panels. Tighten the screws, then slightly loosen them so that you can adjust them with a spanner. Take hold of your saw and lower it carefully over the 2 locating cams. Fit the saw locators at the 4 corners except the one near to the sawdust extraction, which should be on the second one in. Tighten the saw's locators in position using a crosshead screwdriver and the flange nuts. To allow for the adjustment of the saw, pull the saw locators back by 1 to 1.5 mm. You can judge this by eye or use a thin object such as a gauge or metal rule. Screw in the 4 clamping knobs. Now turn the saw over, leaving the chassis positioned in the centre. You can now fit the fence which goes on from the left-hand side. Slide the side fence in up to the blade. Use any of the two arms to lock the side fence in position. Now, use a spanner to loosen the blade alignment adjustment until the blade aligns with the side fence, both front and rear. Now retighten the blade adjustment screw. Take a note of the readings on the side arm indicators to check if the saw's position needs realigning. Now you can use the cam adjusters to align the blade at the front and rear. Your blade is correctly aligned when the blade slightly scrapes the side fence, which is zeroed on both of the indicators. Once this is achieved, tighten the cam screws. Now move the 4 locking knobs tight up against the base plate and retighten for their final position. You will also need to retighten the nuts. This will be best achieved by turning the chassis over and removing the red knobs. Now fit the side guard. Finally fit the trigger strap around the hand grip, the lockout button and the trigger. Turn the chassis over, making sure that the red bits are now facing to the rear and the sticker on the chassis faces the switchbox end. Now fit the tabletop, making sure it aligns and locks into position with the table locator. Now lock the table into position. Slide the guard support into the locating groove and position 12 mm back from the blade. Use a set square to make sure that the support blade is 90 degrees with the table. Take 2 small square lengths of wood and see if they align with the blade and the support, and that they pass smoothly through. Now fit the overhead guard. Check that the power plug from the table is disconnected from the power supply. Then insert the plug from your saw into the socket on the table. Now insert the plug from the table into the mains power source. To operate the saw, press the switch on the front. The blade will start to turn over. To stop the saw, press the large stop button and wait for the blade to fully run down.